Welcome back to Kuma English Listening Hub. Today we are stepping into a world where bright screens, fast fingers, and huge audiences all come together. We are exploring professional esports, the competitive world of video gaming, and how it has grown into a global industry. Even if you do not play video games, this topic affects you more than you might think. Esports are changing entertainment, careers, technology, and even education. So listen closely because this is not just about games. It is about how a hobby transformed into a serious business. Let us start with a simple question. What exactly are esports? Esports, or electronic sports, are organized video game competitions. Players, often called pro gamers, compete in teams or individually in front of live and online audiences. There are leagues, tournaments, coaches, managers, commentators, and prize money. In many ways, it functions like traditional sports, but everything happens on a digital battlefield. Now, how did we get here? How did playing games at home become a massive international industry? In the early days of gaming, competitions were small. They took place in arcades or local computer clubs. Prizes were modest, and the audience was limited. But as internet connections improved, gamers could compete with others around the world. Streaming platforms allowed millions of people to watch live matches. At the same time, game developers realized that competitive play could keep players engaged for years, not just weeks. The result was explosive growth. Today, some of the largest esports tournaments fill stadiums. Fans travel from different countries to watch their favorite teams play, just like they do for football or basketball. Prize pools for top events reach millions of dollars. Sponsors include global brands, not only from technology, but also from finance, car manufacturing, and fashion. You might be wondering, what kinds of games are popular in esports? There are several main genres that dominate the scene. First, there are team-based strategy games. These usually involve two teams competing to control the map and destroy the opponent's base. Matches can be intense, with complex strategies, split-second decisions, and constant communication. Second, there are shooters, where individual aim, reaction speed, and teamwork decide who wins. These games often require precise coordination and careful planning. Players need to know the map, predict their opponent's moves, and execute strategies quickly. Third, there are sports simulations and fighting games. These are often one-on-one competitions that test timing, mind games, and detailed knowledge of every character or player. In each of these genres, the skill level of professional players is extremely high. To a casual viewer, the game might look chaotic, but to fans, each tiny movement has a purpose. So, what does it take to become a professional esports player? Many pro players start young. They often begin as passionate fans, spending hours every day playing a particular game. Over time, they climb online rankings and join amateur teams. The most talented and disciplined players are eventually invited to join professional organizations. Their daily routine is surprisingly similar to that of traditional athletes. A typical day can include 6 to 10 hours of training. This is not just casual play. It involves very focused practice, repeating specific moves, studying strategies, watching recordings of previous games, and analyzing opponents. Teams often live together in what are called gaming houses or training facilities. They eat, sleep, and practice in the same place. Coaches design training schedules. Analysts review data and statistics. Managers handle contracts, sponsorships, and public relations. Of course, such a lifestyle has advantages and disadvantages. On the positive side, players can turn their passion into a profession. They can travel, meet fans, and earn a living from something they genuinely enjoy. They also develop valuable skills, such as teamwork, communication under pressure, and strategic thinking. On the negative side, the pressure is intense. Careers can be short because reaction speed tends to decline with age. Many players retire in their mid-20s. There is also the risk of burnout, mental stress, and physical problems such as wrist injuries and back pain from sitting for long periods. This leads us to an important question. Can we really call esports a sport? This debate appears again and again in media, schools, and even governments. Some people argue that esports do not involve enough physical activity to be considered a real sport. They claim it is closer to entertainment or performance. Others point out that many recognized sports, such as archery or shooting, rely more on focus, precision, and mental control than on running or jumping. Esports demand excellent hand-eye coordination, quick decision-making, and a calm mind under pressure. Professional players often follow physical fitness programs and work with sports psychologists. Some countries have already decided that esports count as a sport. In certain places, professional players can receive athlete visas to travel for international tournaments. Universities and colleges now offer scholarships for talented esports players, just as they do for traditional athletes. Whether you personally agree or not, it is clear that the line between sport, game, and entertainment is becoming less strict. Now, let us look at the business side of esports. Where does the money come from? There are several major sources of income. First, sponsorships and advertising. Brands pay to have their logos on team jerseys, event stages, and online broadcasts. Because esports audiences are usually young and tech-savvy, many companies see them as a valuable target group. Second, media rights. Streaming platforms and traditional broadcasters may pay to show major tournaments. Just like in football, owning the exclusive right to broadcast a popular league can be extremely profitable. Third, ticket sales and merchandise. Fans buy tickets to live events, jerseys with their favorite player's name, and other branded products. Some even purchase digital items related to specific teams inside the games themselves. Fourth, game publishers. The companies that create the games often invest directly in leagues and tournaments. For them, esports is a powerful way to keep players interested and to attract new ones. However, the business model is not always stable. Running a professional team is expensive. Salaries, housing, coaches, analysts, travel, and equipment all cost money. If sponsors leave or if a game's popularity drops, a team can struggle to survive. The industry is also highly dependent on a small number of very popular titles. If one game is replaced by another, entire ecosystems can disappear. This uncertainty makes esports a high-risk, high-reward business. At this point, you might be asking, what role do fans play in all of this? Fans are at the heart of esports. They watch matches on streaming platforms, follow players on social media, and participate in online communities. Many fans are also players themselves, which creates a unique relationship with the professionals they admire. Unlike traditional sports, esports were born on the internet. This means the connection between fans and players is usually more direct. A pro gamer might chat with fans live during a stream or answer questions in real time. This level of interaction can create a strong sense of community and loyalty. At the same time, this online environment can also lead to problems. Toxic behavior, such as harassment and abusive language, is a well-known issue in online gaming. Organizations and platforms are trying to reduce this through moderation tools, codes of conduct, and educational campaigns. Some teams actively promote positive role models and highlight respectful behavior. There is also an ongoing discussion about inclusion and diversity. For a long time, the image of the typical gamer was narrow, often male, and from certain countries or regions. But in reality, gamers come from every background. Slowly, more women and underrepresented groups are appearing in the competitive scene, working as players, commentators, hosts, and managers. The industry still has a long way to go in terms of equality, but awareness is growing. Next, let us explore how esports connect with education and careers beyond playing professionally. Some schools and universities now have official esports programs. They use games to teach teamwork, leadership, and communication skills. Students may also study fields like game design, event management, marketing, or broadcasting, all linked to the esports ecosystem. There are many jobs that support the scene. There are shoutcasters and commentators who explain what is happening during matches and make the games exciting for viewers. There are event organizers who plan tournaments, handle schedules, and manage logistics. there are content creators who make videos, podcasts, articles, and social media posts about teams and players. There are also technical roles, software engineers, broadcast technicians, and data analysts who process performance statistics. In other words, you do not need to be the best player to work in esports. There is an entire supporting industry behind each match you see on screen. Of course, there are also concerns about the impact of esports and gaming on health. On one hand, competitive gaming encourages strategic thinking, concentration, and quick problem solving. It can provide social connections, especially for people who find it difficult to make friends offline. On the other hand, spending too many hours in front of a screen can lead to physical and mental issues. These include eye strain, poor posture, lack of exercise, and difficulty sleeping. For professionals, the pressure to perform can also contribute to anxiety and stress. Some teams now employ fitness trainers, nutritionists, and psychologists to support their players. They create balanced schedules that include exercise, breaks, and time away from the screen. This more holistic approach is becoming standard in top organizations. For casual players and fans, the same principle applies. Gaming can be enjoyable and even beneficial, as long as it is part of a balanced lifestyle. Looking to the future, where might esports go from here? Several trends are worth watching. First, technology continues to improve. Faster internet, more powerful devices, and better streaming platforms will make it even easier to watch and play. New technologies such as virtual reality and augmented reality could create totally new kinds of competitive games. Second, local scenes are growing. While esports started as a global online phenomenon, many cities and regions are now developing their own clubs, amateur leagues, and training centers. This could make esports more accessible to younger players who want to try competition for the first time. Third, there is increasing cooperation between traditional sports organizations and esports. Some football clubs, basketball teams, and even national sports associations have created their own esports divisions. They see this as a way to reach younger audiences and expand their brand. Finally, regulation and governance are becoming more important. Issues such as player contracts, match fixing, cheating, and performance enhancing substances all require clear rules. Various organizations are trying to create standards, but because esports are global and digital, it is not easy to regulate them in the same way as national sports. For learners of English, esports can be a surprisingly rich area for practice. Many international teams communicate in English, even if it is not their first language. Interviews, commentary, analysis shows, and documentaries around esports use a mix of informal and professional English. This provides plenty of authentic listening material. If you are interested in this world, you can improve your English by following international tournaments, watching English language broadcasts, and listening to post-match interviews. You will hear real discussions about strategy, teamwork, pressure, and performance. Before we finish, let us quickly recap the key ideas from this episode. We have seen that esports are organized, competitive video game events with professional players, teams, and leagues. We have explored how they grew from small local competitions into a global industry with stadium events and multi-million-dollar prize pools. We talked about the lifestyle of professional players, the debate over whether esports count as real sports, and the complex business model based on sponsorships, media rights, and fan support. We also looked at the role of fans and online communities, issues of health and diversity, and the many career paths that exist around the games themselves. Finally, we considered what the future might hold, from new technologies to closer connections with traditional sports and education. As you listen back, try to notice the vocabulary related to business, competition, and technology. Ask yourself, what surprised you the most about this industry? Would you ever consider working in esports, either as a player or in a supporting role? You have been listening to Kuma English Listening Hub. Thank you for joining me today. Keep training your ears, stay curious, and I will see you in the next episode.